of our structural design on church auditorium building. So as you can see that on the part 1 and part 2, we did basically the structural framing, where we'll have to position our columns and also create our grid lines and then panel our buildings, place how our beams are going to run, and also how our slab are going to be placed, and then also placed all the gallery beams as you can see it here. And also we have also known the levels and all that. And then on the final part of the part 2, we have to now save this drawing separately for it to be able to export to the ProtaStructure software. So on this part 3 right now, which is basically on modeling, so we will now begin to model this building and then design it on this part 3. Okay, so right now I'll quickly go right now and then minimize this AutoCAD software, and then looking at this file right now, this dialog box right now, this is the dialog box of ProtaStructure. Now ProtaStructure is a structural design software that performs structural design both in concrete and also in steel structures. So if you want to know more about how what this software is all about, you can go to the website ProtaStructure.com and then read about what they are into. But basically it is a structural design company that specializes in to develop softwares, and also this softwares is also known worldwide. So basically we have different versions of the software. As you can see here, we have 2018 version, 2021 version, and 2022 version. But basically I want to use 2018 version. That's because it is more simpler for a beginner to be able to understand this software using 2018, sorry. So right now, once you have the software and then click on this icon here, the next thing you will see is this dialog box here will just appear to you. Now on this dialog box now, you can see that we have different projects that I have worked on, as you can see it here. So this is the several project I have worked on with this software. As you can see, we have different software, 30-story building design, 13-story, and all that. So basically right now, we want to now begin for this church auditorium. To begin that, click on this place here that says new file, this icon here that says new file. Now once you click on that just now, the next thing that will appear to you right now is for the dialog box for you to enter the project code, which simply means the name of the project. And in this case right now, the name of the project is what? Let me just paste that just now. Of the project is church complete, but let me just take off this complete course here, complete course away, and just put church auditorium. Now for you to be able to apply space, you have to use shift and minus sign, because this software doesn't allow you to give a space, like a space button on that. So always use shift and minus sign to put an underscore for you to be able to have space. So right now just put shift underscore and shift, let me just put church auditorium building design. Let me just put design there, design. Okay, so once you're done putting in your project code, next thing right now you do right now is now go here and click on what? OK. Now once you click on OK, automatically the software will give you another dialog box again, which simply says what? The template, and this template comprises of what? Design codes. As you can see that this software has different kind of structural codes that you can use to design your structures, knowing that every structure is meant to be designed using a structural design code. And in this case right now we will be using Eurocode, so I'll go here and then choose Eurocode. So depending on your country, you can choose different codes that you have here. So right now we are going to use Eurocode for this design. So I'll click on this place now that says what? Eurocode, although you can still choose to use BS and other code, but let me just use what? Eurocode here, and then I'll just click on Eurocode and then come here right now and then click on what? Import. So I'll click on now import now for it now import this design codes and parameters into this project template. Okay, so right now let's now hold on for it to now begin to show the next software environment so that we can now begin our structural modeling. Okay, so I would say that you should spend time more on the part 1 and part 2, because that is the most basic one that you're meant to know as a civil and structural engineer. Now once you're done with your structural framing, then you will now move on to what they call the modeling using the software, which is the ProtaStructure as the design software. Okay, so right now once this is done loading, I'll now move on to the next phase. Okay, it's trying to load up this environment, so let's just hold on for it to load up that. Okay, so right now on this place, just a quick one. If this is the first time you are taking our course, let me just explain to you this environment of this software. So basically this place here that you're seeing here simply means your modeling environment. So this is the place where you have to model your structure and all that. And then this area here, this section here, simply means your menu bar. As you can see there, these are your menu icons, and this is your menu bar, as you can see that. And then this place here means your section tree. This area here means your section tree, as you can see that. So on this place now, you also know how to use this area, which I'll show you. And then these other ones here are called vertical layers. Okay, so these are called vertical layers. Okay, so that is just the components of this software, just this area and this area, this area and this area. Okay, that's fine. So right now, once you're done, once this software comes up like this, the next thing to do right now is for you to go and import your structural framing that we did on the part 1 and part 2. So right now I'll go to click on where file here. And on this file now, I'm going to come here right now and then click on the place that says model file import here, model file import, and then go all the way down here under model file import here and go to what? External reference drawing. So I'll click on this place now that says external reference drawing. So once I click on that just now, the dialog box will appear, which will ask me to now load the DSL file which we save on part 2A. Okay, so right now I'll come here and then click on what? DSF load or load DSF. I'll click on here right now that says load DSF. So on this place now, it now prompt me to my computer, to a place in my computer where I saved my document, which is that DSF file. So in this place now, I saved that file. I will save that file on the folder that says what? Concrete building. Let me see. Yeah, this place there. We save it on this place here. So I'll open this place now, and there you will see we now save this inside this place that says complete course. So I'll open here again right now, and then you can now see that it is now asking you for what? A DSL file only. I can see that DSL file only. So right now we have already saved that as a DSL file, which we did on the part 2A of this course video. So right now I'll just go here right now and then select this file and then say what? Okay. So we open. And on opening now, it will ask you to choose your what? Your design unit. So just say millimeter or anyone that you're using, and then click on what? Okay. So since we use since on the framing we use a millimeter, so I chose millimeter. So right now you have to check on this place now that says use color for you to be able to use the color that we use on the framing. So right now you can now see that your drawing has shown here as a tracing plan. So right now, click on the place that says use color. You see that it will now use the color that we use. That's perfect. Now, once you have done that right now, you can now see that all our drawings now have shown, but meanwhile, we have not yet imported our columns and also our grid line as structural elements. So right now, I'll come to this place now and then say, click on this place that says import members. So on this place now, it now prompts you to now import axis and also import columns. Don't forget that we used. So just come right now and click on this place that says import axis as grid line, and then also import column as grid line. This is why you are meant to set these two layers as grid line and also as column while you're doing your framing in AutoCAD. Okay. So right now, I'm not coming right now and then click on this place that says what? Okay. So by clicking OK right now, it will now convert the columns. Okay. Right now, just say close. It now convert the columns and then also the grid line as a structural element. So you can now see that all our grid lines now is now showing as what? As axis, and also columns also showing. So right now go here and then click on what? Close. So on this place now, you can just zoom in right now. You will now see that it is now showing as what column, as you can see that, and also all our grid lines are showing also as grid lines. So you can choose to change this your grid line naming. If you don't want this grid line naming as it is, you can choose to change it depending on what you want. Let me say you want 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. So right now first, if I want this place now to be axis A, but meanwhile we already have axis A here, as you can see that. So, and you can't have two axis name at the same time. So right now I'll just change this one right now to axis B, and then call it, or let me just change this one to axis, let me just rename it. I'll come here right now and say properties, and then just rename this right now to any, let me just name it to different, let me name it to axis Z. Okay, Z is fine, and then say, sorry, capital Z, and then say update. It now changed to what? To Z axis. Okay, now I'll now go here right now and click on what? Close here. So right now, if I want to use my custom layer naming, I can choose to now change my layer naming depending on what I want. So I can now come here right now. I can choose to start from this side here now and begin to name my grid line here. I'll begin to name it now by using what? A, B, C, and D, and then just serially. So right now, just come and say A here, axis A, and I'll say alt updates. Okay, I need to change this layer right now automatically right now to axis A on this end, and also as you can see it also on this side also axis A here, also here at this point here. Okay, and also you can also change it also to axis B if you want to change this also. That's just for you to know how to change your axis if maybe you want to use your own custom axis naming, depending, not using what the software gave you. So this axis B now, and then say update, and then come again right now, escape, and then close first, and then come again here. And so this is how to change your axis. Let me now go and change for a vertical one. Let me now call this one here axis 2. Yeah, axis 2, and call the first one axis 1. So I'll come here, click on the grid line, change it to what? 2, and then say okay. So update, and then close, and come here right now, click on this one just now, click on it first, click on it now, right click, and then say what? Properties, and then go right now and then go and click on what? Change it to axis 1, and then say update to say. So this is how to name or rename your axis to your own custom naming if you want to choose your custom naming. So this is how to rename axis. So you can now see how we have just done what? Imported this this building right now into the software ProtaStructure. So right, if I now go and check on my 3D view of this structure right now, by clicking on this view right now on this section 3 here, by click and then say what? 3D here, you will see that what we have only is just our columns. That's because we have not yet done our what? Grid lines. Okay, so we are only left with our columns alone and not grid lines. Let me just like to load up. Okay, so you can now see that what we have, okay, don't worry, it's okay. So this is what we have now. We only have our columns now, as you can see right now. So right now, back to our plan view again by clicking on this view here. I click here and then say what? Plan view. Okay, that's fine. So right now, we are now going back to a plan view to now begin to now insert our beams to how it is. Okay, so right now, we only have our columns and not without beams. So right now, let's now begin to insert our beams on the software. Okay, so right now, since we've already done how our beams are going to run, as you can see it here, so now insert a beam on the software here, go to this place that says concrete member, and then go to the place that says concrete what? Beam, okay? And then click on the concrete beam. Now, once it comes up just now, you now have to come to this place now. Once it comes up just now, come to here that says B. This simply means the width of your beam. So our width of beam right now will be the same width of column. So I'll go here and say 230 millimeter, and then come here right now. Now, the depth of this H button here simply means depth of your beam, and your beam depth should start from 450 millimeter. That should be your minimum depth of floor beam. So right now I'll put 450 millimeter. Okay. And then just now again, I'll now go over here. Now, since this is okay, I'll choose 450, but on this other side, on this beam here, I'll choose this beam to be 600 here. But for all these perimeter ones first, I'll use 450 for that. So once you have set your beam width and then your beam height, which is the beam depth. Now click on the first beam here, on the first column here. Now, knowing that we have our beams running all the way down from this point all to this point, I can choose to click on the last point here, and then the software will just divide the column, the beam based on the column points, and then we'll just have our continuous beam one time, as you can see just there. Let me just hold on for it to load. Okay, that's fine. So you can see that we now have different beam right now from this point to this point, and also from here to here. And also, like I can see right now, this is now beam 2, while this here is now called beam 1, and this is beam 2, and this is beam 3, and this is beam 4, and so on. Okay, so right now, I'll now go again right now again. Why the beam this thing is still on, I'll now come here again right now. Since I have my beam running again from here to here, I'll come here again and then click again on this place here. Now, if you want to put beam based on column to column points, just need to click like this and click again and click again. So this is how to place your beam column to column point. But if you have your beams running from one column to the end of the column, just go and click on the last column, and the software will just divide it for you based on the column points. Okay, and then also on this side again right now, and here again to here. So right now I am done inserting all my perimeter beams. So right now I'll now go and change the depth of my beam here to 450, and type here, click here right now, and say 600. First of all, I'll have to go here and then click on what escape first to escape from this point here, because I'm now begin to insert my first again, escape again from that point. Okay, so to now insert, to now begin to insert for this other one here, first of all, let's go and check our 3D view again. Click on this place now and say 3D view, click here, and then you will see that we have done all our beams on the perimeter of the building. Okay, so right now you can now see that we have done the perimeter beams, as you can see just that right now. It's coming up. Okay, that's fine. So this is now, we have done the perimeter beams, as you can see that right now. So right now, let's now begin to insert the internal beams. So right now, let's now go and then go back to our plan view. Now you can see that we have different viewports here. So I'll just close some of them. I don't want all to open, just close and just have two, and close this also. Okay, that's fine. So on our plan view right now, I'll go again now begin to insert our beam again. Click on the beam on this place here, which is the concrete name bar, and then go to what? Concrete beams. And then I will now go to the place that says what? Come here and change my beam depth to what? 600. Now come here right now and then begin to insert this beam here. I'll click on this first plot point here, and then go all the way down to this place here and then leave it here. Okay. And again right now, come again right now and click on this place again here to insert my beam there, and click on what? Escape key. Click on escape key on your keyboard, and then come again right now, click on this point here, and then go all the way down to this place here, because there's a beam here, and click on this place here. Okay, and then again I'll go again right now, escape from my keyboard key, and then come again here, click on this point here, on this column here, and click all the way down here, and then click also on this other side here to put my beam here. Okay, and escape escape this cursor from this point, and then go again just now again and begin to click on this other side to create a beam here. Click here and then click here, and once it's done, escape to now release that point, and then go again right now, click here and then click here, and to release this point from this beam insertion point, and then click on the escape key, and then go again just now again. Now we are done with this. Now let's now begin to insert for this other one. So click here right now. I want to use this one to be what? 450. This other one 450 here. So I'll come here just now and then change to 450 beam. So basically you have to choose your beam depth wisely from 450 to 900, but basically since it's a small building, just use 450 and then 600 basically. So right now, just come here right now. So since we have this beam all the way down to this place, I will not have to come here and click here. Instead, it will have to use as one beam. But since there is a beam, we have a beam here that is carrying the load, so I'll have to insert this one beam from that point to this point, and then continue again from this point again right now to this point here, and then again, continue again from here to here. So whenever you have a beam carrying a beam and not a column, don't go all the way down and then insert to the very end, else it will insert as one beam. So come again right now, then insert here again right now for it to now begin to carry it, so that this beam load can be transferred to this other one. And then right now there is no beam here, but here is a staircase, it is void. Right now click on what? Escape key, and then come here right now, click on this point again right now. Now if I go and click directly on this other point here, you will see what will happen. Click here right now. If I say yes, it means that it will divide on each of it will divide this beam from here to here and then from here to here, which is nice. But if I say no right now, look at what will happen. It will use it as one straight beam, which is not good. It's not using it as one straight beam, as you can see that, which is not good, because this beam load here is meant to transfer onto this beam and also onto this beam here, and also onto this beam here. So right now I'll just go here right now, right click and then say delete this beam. Okay, and then to insert the beam rightly, come here, click on this one here, and then go all the way down here, click on this other one here, and then come here and then say yes. It will now divide the beam based on the point where it's going to carry the load. Okay, so right now that's fine. So right now click on what? Escape key. So right now we now have our beams. Okay, here I also need a beam here, so click on this place and also here again, and then click here. Okay, that's fine. And then let me take again. Okay, that's fine. So we have done all this other side. Now let's now go again right now and then to create another beam again on this side again. So this side of beam, I want to use the beam of 450 again. I'll come here right now, click on this and then click on this, and then go all the way down now and click on this side here. Okay, and click on my escape key, and then continue from here again, click on this one again. So this is how to insert your beam. And then click on that one here and click on what? Escape key. Click on this point here and to this point here and escape key. And then click on this point here and click on the next point here again. And then click on my escape key. And then click on this point here and on this point here and click on my escape key on my keyboard. And then click again on this point here. So this is how to insert your beams, and also on this place here. And then click on my escape key, and then let's now go to this other side now. There's a beam here, so click on this place now and on this place here, and then click on what? Escape key, and then click again right now on this point here and this point here, and then what? Escape key, and then click on this point again right now and on this point here, and then what? Escape key. That's fine. So right now we are basically done inserting all our beams, as you can see that just now. So right now I'll click on what? Final escape again to now escape these beam properties here and escape it again. Okay, that's fine. And then click on anywhere outside here. Okay, so right now let's now go and check on our 3D view just now to what we have done. So click on here right now, 3D view, and then you can now see that we have done what? Our beam, we have just done our beam what? We have done our beam insertion right now. So right now let's now go and insert our slab. So right now go back to what? Plan view right now. To now begin to insert your slab just now, let's now go on to where? Concrete member again, and then go to what now? Slab here. So to click on slab here right now. Now on the slab just now, we will now have to wait for this thing to show, which is this slab property right now. And then on this place right now, this H here simply means what? Slab depth. So come here and put in your slab depth, and basically minimum slab depth based on Eurocode and also BS code states that your slab depth minimum should be what? 150 millimeters. So right now I'll put in my slab depth here was 150 millimeter, and then come here and put my concrete cover 25, which is okay 25, and then come to loading right, which is this loads here. Now on this dead load now comprises of what? Your partition load and also your what? Finishing load. So this is a church building, so and also I want my partition load to be what? 0.5, and what finishing load to be what? 1.2. That gives me what? 1.7. If I add them up together, that gives me what? 1.7. So right now I'm typing 1.7 as my what? 1.7 as my what? Dead load. Now on this place now that says what? Live load. Now here that says live load, I'll have to right click here and choose my type of building, which simply means what? Auditorium building. So this is now what? This is now place that says public what circulation with, sorry, here that says fixed seated area, which is assembling hall. So since this is a church building and also this is also an auditorium, so it is basically an assembling hall. So right now I have to choose this option here that says what, fixed seated area and assembling hall. So this now becomes my what, life load. So right now I now come here right now and then click on this, and then it will just input the value there as my life load or imposed load. So right now, to now begin to insert your slab now, begin to click on what each of the panels now where you have your slab, except the void areas here on the staircase. So right now begin to click now to begin to put in your slabs just now. So I'll click here and click on the place now, the panels where I have slab except the staircase area, and then click on all the place where you have slab to now begin to insert your slabs. Okay, so right now we are done now putting in our slabs, as you can see that right now. So right now click on what, escape key. Now your self weight here is done for you automatically. Once you input your depth of slab, automatically the software gives you your self weight load. So only input your what, dead load and your imposed load, and your dead load comes from your partition load and then your finishing load. So add them all together, that gives you what, your dead load. Okay, that's fine. So right now go here right now and click on what, close. So if now go, okay, we are missing one slab here, as you can see there. This place now is void, which is meant to have a slab. So right now I'll just come here, click on this and say, right click and say what, properties, to take the slab property right now, and then come here and then click on what says here, insert here, insert. Okay, click on this place now, insert, and then click on what, close here. Okay, that's fine. So right now we have now done inserting our slab. So go now and then check on your 3D view right now on this side, and then come here and check it now. You will see that we have just done what, our slabs now, as right now. So this is how to now insert your slab on this software, ProtaStructure. Now, knowing that this place now is having what, a different level of slab, as you can see, it have a different levels here. So right now on the part 4, I'll show you how to insert this building on different levels. But first of all, we'll have to first of all insert our story. That should be on the part 4 of this course video training. Okay, so right now you can see how we have done our beam insertion and also place our slab. Okay, so right now watch out for the next part, which is the part 4, which I'm not show you how to now make your different level of slab. But first of all, we have to insert our story, because we have to insert story before we cannot do that. Okay, so right now, thank you and watch for the next.